Hey there everyone, this is Cass with SCNS Live. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to check out the video version of this, you can check it out on YouTube. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, all at SCNS Live. Thank you so much and enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of SCNS Live, the super cool nerd show. And there was a change of plans tonight. So
What?
there was not going to be a show. We were going to go down to AnimeFEST and goof off and have a good time. Maybe shoot some video from down there. Unfortunately, things are not the same. There's been changes. So due to those changes being very short notice, not everybody was prepared for the show. I, am very close to our studio, so I can get over here, and so can Core. But Nate, you came all the way over here. Thank you for coming over.
Well, I mean, I don't live in Fort Worth anymore.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
you also are Sans Red Ranger, and I'm not happy about that. We'll talk about that one later on. But Cat and Cass will not be joining us tonight because they live further away. Not that they didn't want to be here. Things were short notice. Plans changed. Guys, we miss you. So as I said on the promo, this is not going to be the full-on, full-ass show that we normally do. This is going to be like 2/3 ass.
1/5.
Maybe that's less.
You're right. 4/5.
Maybe let's go 3/5.
7/10.
But the good news is we still have our board operator who apparently was prepared for anime over there tweaking knobs, turning things, making everything look pretty and whatnot. It's Cora. What is up with your hair?
I don't notice a difference.
I made a mistake in choosing my costume for tonight. I can't see.
You do have like a soundboard over there that you have to see.
And oh look, it's on the side of my face that's covered by a wig.
I don't see a difference.
Emo is just running and stuff. Just
Excuse you,
no peripheral vision.
I am not an emo, I am a beautiful man.
So you're an emu?
What?
I don't know. That's all I have.
I'm going home.
Anyway, well, like I said, that is Core over there. I am Jason the X. Over there, it's Near.
Hi.
And it looks like we're about to do alternate heads just without Bryce.
I know, right? Well, you since AnimeFEST is happening,
It is.
and a particular anime show is also happening, it just felt right to bring in a bunch of anime-related figures, and then we threw in Power Rangers and stuff like that, which we'll talk about on Alternate Heads. But
What anime show? I'm watching My Hero Academia, if that's what you mean.
such a good
Sorta.
show. God, I love that show.
I have words for that. But yeah, we're going to plug a new thing coming to the Super Cool Network. Anyway, thank you guys out there for joining us, even though it is going to be, don't expect a lot out of the show. This is a half-ass show. So anyway.
Well, it's an anime show.
It's an anime show, so it's definitely a half.
We're a low-budget show. We're like from Studio Dean or something.
We had $5 in our wallet to spend on the show, and I bought gum on my way here, so I'm sorry.
And you didn't bring any for us?
I don't even chew gum.
I clearly need more toys. I'll need to be buying stuff for this show. Anyway, but y'all know how we do it. Let's kick this thing off with some super cool nerd news. Thank you for joining us, super cool nerd news. So this is really something I should be talking about on Alternate Heads, but I think it should just be out there for all of you because it's very, very important. There goes a Pink Ranger.
So
Hasbro
sad.
has their crowdfunding project called HasLab. Currently, there are 2 projects on HasLab right now.
I'm so sad about them.
A life-size Cookie Monster. The buy-in for this is $300. It has 10 days to go, and unfortunately, they are only at 468 of the backers they need. They need 3,000.
My wife looked at me so just like I was some kind of weird person when I said I wanted one of these. And
Who
now,
doesn't
well, we talked about this on Alternate Heads where I really wanted this project to pick up because it's a Cookie Monster. It's life size, and now it comes with a cookie.
I would be feeding it regular cookies.
Well,
all
it's
the
a
time.
fake cookie. They call it a plush cookie because you don't want it to spoil.
Yeah.
But the fact is, it comes with a cookie, It's a life-size Cookie Monster, and I love Cookie Monster. He was my favorite on the show, personally. So I wanted this to happen, and I'm just sad. Sad a little.
How dare you interrupt my news? Anyway, moving on, because forget Cookie Monster. Unfortunately, there's also another project up there that does not look like it's going to make it. The Transformers War for Cybertron Unicron, which you needed $575 to back that project before taxes. Also, I backed this project.
You're both
it is
happy,
only
sad.
sitting at 2,563 backers of the 8,000 needed with 16 days left. This is not looking good, folks.
You're so happy sad about it.
I'm not. Actually, I'm very sad about it because
I would
was
say
going to get this.
I would say happy sad because you're sad that you wanted it. I mean, you've been texting about it for days.
But also, I don't have to explain this purchase later. I bought a equal size Transformer over here for half that price. I would just like to say that right now. So, yeah, unless some deep pockets come calling, this maybe is not going to make it. Were these too lofty for them to go for? Granted, they did have the Jabba sail barge, which exceeded expectations.
That one I didn't think was going to make it. But I didn't check on it like everybody else.
I mean, I'm not mad it made it either, but I'm kind of mad Unicron's not going to make it, especially since I kind of put my money where my mouth is on this one.
Cookie Monster made sense that it wouldn't make it because it was one of those things where not everybody's going to, want to watch that. It's just everybody who collects figures like you and me, if you're going to look between a nice chunk of plastic and something that's going to get kind of gross and grady over time that I spent too much money on, you're going to go with the nice chunk of plastic that fits in with everything you own.
I thought for sure there were enough deep pockets from the Sesame Street days that would immediately fund this one, just for nostalgia.
I fall into that where I say that I would want this. It's something that I did want to get, but I'm not going to drop the money on it either. So, especially if you're not going to give me something else,
keep hope alive. We're not done yet. The battle still is not yet won or lost. The fight rages on, but we'll see.
Probably give another update on it at Alternate Heads. It's fine.
Corey, you want to jump the line and tell us what you're covering this week with your hair?
You got to turn your head sideways so you can read. Yeah, that a girl.
Okay, so my story this week, I honestly thought this was a joke when I first saw it months ago, but they released a trailer, and by they I mean Tokyo Disney released a trailer this week, or end of last week, for their new phone dating adventure sim, Twisted Wonderland. And let me just pull that up. There
Jason,
we go.
did you just pre-order that?
I want to pre-order
I know
it.
somebody who does. Yeah, there we
go. No news if it'll be released over here yet or not, but it is basically you as the main character are transported into a fantasy world at a magic academy where all of these villains exist, and basically all of the pretty boy villains exist here.
Go on.
As a matter of fact, the one pictured right here is the Maleficent stand-in, which, yes, I kind of like it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the designs are actually really pretty, and that makes sense. They are done by Yana Toboso, who is the manga creator for Black Butler, and you can definitely see that in all of the styles. Currently, all the movies that we have, so actually the dormitories, because there are 7 dormitories where all of these characters are from, they correspond with the different movies. We have Alice in Wonderland, of course, The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Snow White, Hercules, The Lion King, and Sleeping Beauty, of course. Again, no word if we're going to get it over here or not. I really hope we do.
But you're certainly going to try.
Oh, if it's available, I will play it. There's also going to be rhythm game aspects for all of the fight scenes. So essentially, I get to have things like Idolish 7 that I can't get over here, and a story game like the Arcana, like mixed into one, and I'm okay with that. So can we have this, please? And I just realized I keep winking at the camera, and no one can fucking see it. So this is great.
Language!
Nope. Oh, yep. I took.
So if you're thirsty, and desire this game.
And I will, without hesitation, agree that I am a thirsty hoe for these anime boys. I mean,
wow, so much for
Just
getting
gonna-
funded for this episode.
I know, right?
We're 10 minutes in, already throwing out thirsty hoe.
Well,
can't help it.
Is it any worse than my obsession with anime girls? I mean,
Yes, it is.
You know what?
don't look
No,
at my
no,
phone.
it's
You know what?
no, it's equally as bad.
You know what?
Probably.
We're all thirsty hoes
What?
for something.
There it goes.
All right, so thank YouTube. You get this. This is a freebie. No, it's equally as bad. Anyway, please go ahead with your stories.
Okay, these posters have-
Well, just like this show, Loot Crate has filed for bankruptcy.
As added on, you can no longer use the code lootcrate.com/SCNS Live. It has been taken down.
Well, we kind of saw this one coming for, I guess, a few weeks now. One of my we met him, Adam, who was on the show, has subscribed to Loot Crate for a while. Hasn't gotten any of his shipments in for like a few weeks. They recently started refunding that. But Loot Crate recently decided to has started laying off its employees. I think it's dozens of employees and then 150 warehouse workers. They let go last month. They did announce that they intend to ship all remaining boxes to customers. I don't know how that's going to work, considering I think they're $20 million in debt, something like that. I believe the report does say 21. They have a $21 million loan. So Loot Crate has just. I'm sad to see it go.
So
to be honest with you,
I actually have a friend. Sorry, I'm taking these bracers off. They're horrible.
As I'm wearing the shirt provided by Loot Crate.
I actually have a friend that had their Lootware for her subscription. She hasn't gotten her subscription for 3 months. And she's been talking to them about it, and she's getting refunded. But she's mad that it got to this point in the first place.
that's one of the points that we've been talking to about other people with Loot Crate is that they just haven't been receiving their shipments, period. So being said that everyone's going to still get the remaining boxes, if people are starting to get refunded, it's just not possible, especially when you're $20 million in debt.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not going to happen. I mean, like I said, I'm sad to see it go. I wanted to be a part of Loot Crate for a while, and then I just never pulled the trigger, and now I'll never get to.
I mean, we at one point were getting all of their crates. In fact, at one point they were sending us double crates.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And they had to tell them, hey, stop. So there's some business models that were not going right there.
That's true. It's still sad to see something go that's been such, I guess you could say, a staple in some of the nerd community for so long. It's just, we get one thing and then we lose it. It just happens.
Well, I think they were also losing out to things that, like, there are other loot boxes out there that cater more specifically to things, not just like general video games.
Oh yeah.
Like, for example, there's one for D&D supplies and D&D specific nerddom. And let's say that Loot Crate at one point had a D&D box. I think they did for their Loot Crate.
They did a lot of different boxes.
Yeah, and it catered to a lot of different people. But if you're like let's say I wanted, like, the D&D crate, it's specific enough that I can stay subscribed to it and know that I'm going to get those supplies every month and I'm going to get similar stuff. With the Loot Crate, I may not be interested in the thing that they're doing. Like, let's say I wasn't into comic books, which is a lie, but let's say I wasn't into superheroes and they had their superhero theme and they did that for like 3 months.
Well, I can give you an actual example of something. Like me, like everyone in this room is a huge fan of like video games and comics and stuff, but pretty much everyone in this room is also not a huge fan of horror related stuff. So when October rolls around and they decide to do some kind of horror related theme where it's like, hey, we're going to do horror games or do horror movies. Well, I don't want that. I would rather have something that I like Metroid or, Nintendo or anime. Just, something that I would actually want. But Loot Crate's one of those companies that, just like anything else, built a business model that did extremely well with its fan base because it was something that didn't really exist at the time. And then just like anything else, then you have people that copy that business model. So, but they decide to target a specific audience. Like you said with the D&D one, that people start looking at a D&D product and say, let's start shipping this one out. Or people who did like the horror stuff, let's shoot this one out. And it's, you start shipping out to more specific stuff. So instead of so you guarantee that you get something you like instead of just a random pick and choose. the same concept happened with Blockbuster. I mean, you had a movie like related service, but then, you know, as Americans do, we get lazy over time. And then Netflix rolls around and ships the movie to you, and then you have streaming, and now you don't have Blockbuster.
I still don't understand why Family Video still exists. I think they sell drugs in there.
It's just
Actually, they sell CBD oil as well. They're expanding their business model.
It's just one of those things with most businesses is you do well enough, someone's going to try to copy your business model and continue to do well enough. That's just the way it is.
Well, speaking of businesses and models and things that go wrong sometimes, please explain. I've got my own gripes with GameStop right now about order cancellations.
I hate you for this, by the way.
Oh, you hate me? What did I do?
I own them all now.
Congratulations. Welcome to the club.
I love
We didn't
them.
get them from GameStop? Well, yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay.
Let me just explain. If you're wondering why video content was a little lax this week, because every time I tried to sit down and edit video, somebody, a fellow toy collector on the show, that guy, would message me, hey, code red. Power Ranger Series 2 figures are out. And Cora knows me. I jump up for stuff like this.
You do.
I'd like to point out that I am the type, like, I love my cat more than anything in the world. I love that little girl. But when I looked on my phone and saw Power Rangers toys hitting Dallas in Walgreens, because me and you started searching when they started hitting Walgreens.
Pretty much.
And we got depressed because we couldn't find them.
I think I went to 5 or 6 the first night.
I don't want to talk about the amount we've gone to. My list is significantly longer than yours, but that's not the point. I was sitting on the couch. My cat was laying on my stomach, and I saw found in Dallas, and I jumped up, and I removed my cat. Still feel guilty about it, but I jumped in my car the same day, and I went and found us Red Rangers that I forgot to bring you.
Thanks for that.
But I mean, that's just the way we work. Is if something's out, we're going to drop everything else and just go find it. We got them though.
Anyway. So our search was successful. I have the 3 of the 4 currently. I'm waiting the 4th. But there was a big mistake this morning.
So I found out a little while ago, because unfortunately I missed it. GameStop had a bit of a glitch in its website. A teeny one, where if you were an action figure enthusiast, gaming enthusiast, you could go onto their website this morning and then just, get things for free. I mean, no big deal. You could get anything. I think it was anything from like 10% off to pretty much free. So people went in there and decided to order. Now, let me tell you what you don't do is you don't blame your audience for your mistake, which is what GameStop did. GameStop went onto Twitter, and this is their exact tweet. If you placed one of those sneaky orders while we were sleeping and thought we wouldn't notice, GG. Our bad, but check your inbox for a little surprise. And then they put the picture of Bart Simpson holding the cake that said, "At least you tried." So what it is...
That's why that was going around this morning.
So what it is apparently they are canceling everybody's who took advantage of that particular order. And inside of your emails, you got like a $10 gift card or something like that. It was some kind of gift card. I don't remember the specific amount.
Oh, they included the full gift of them throwing away the cake as well.
Yeah, so it was like a $10 coupon that you got for ordering something, and they blamed it on the audience instead of, hey, we made a mistake. You caught us at the same time. Here's either a discounted rate if you want it, or, depending on what it is, we'll go ahead and just give it to you. It's now
you trifling bitches.
They instead went, at least you tried.
Oh, okay. Let's just all admit it's a mistake, and we are trying to game the system. However, we have successfully gamed the system now. You need to give us our shit.
You acknowledged it. You said GG.
You acknowledged our smartassery. Give us the thing.
There have been some mistakes this week on GameStop's website.
Oh, yeah. You're going to talk about yours, right?
One in particular. I ordered speaking of Power Rangers, ordered the 6-inch Goldar figure that's exclusive to them months ago. Months ago, I pre-ordered this thing. Like where you pre-order something enough that you actually forget about it. And then I saw, oh, people are receiving them. Let me check my order. I have this email. I have this order confirmation number. I'll just check. No order. No order. And I keep calling, and they're like, "Oh, well, we didn't have enough stock to fill your order."
That's what I saw. So I called the same time. Because since people are receiving them, I wanted to go ahead and order it. We talked about this last time, where GameStop's corporate headquarters is from where we record here. It's got to be at least 30 minutes away. It's not too terribly far.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I could get there in a day if I really wanted to. It's super close by. So whenever I ordered something, like, for example, the Hulk and Wolverine 2-pack, I didn't have to pay for shipping, and I got it the next day. It was just one of those things where I was like, all right, cool, I wasn't expecting this. But I tried to order Goldar, and it was forcing me to pay a minimum of $6 shipping for 6 to 8 days of possible shipments when it's just like down the street. It's just, so I called. And they said, "Oh, well, let me take a look at that for you," in a non-American accent. And they decided to tell me that, well, we just don't have the shipment. It's just not here. We're waiting on Hasbro, so on and so forth. And I went, okay. So, because I tried to go in the store to order it because I really don't want to pay that shipping. And apparently they can't order it in store anymore either. So when I asked the guy, I was like, "So why can't I order it in store?" He's like, "Because we don't have shipment." And I was like, cool. So when I tried to order it 4 months ago and you didn't have shipment, does that mean I still couldn't order it? Or like they just won't give you a clear response? It's
like, well, when I go in with my original order number, I get the message, "Sorry, this order or email does not match our records. Check your records and try again." I'm getting this from my email that was sent to me months ago, and I've not gotten a straight answer from them yet. So they are apparently going through some hardships right now that they need to figure out. Okay.
So is Best Buy, actually.
I don't expect much out of Best Buy anymore. I don't go there.
I think we should all keep an eye on Best Buy just for the next week or two.
We should just keep checking on it. Do a courtesy check.
No,
Best Buy.
I think a lot of I think their fans about to get really dirty. I should say it's just from what we can tell for Best Buy. Just a little backstory: my buddies and we all used to work for Best Buy for very long periods of time, ranging anywhere from the shortest amount of time being 2 years to our longest period of time, I want to say, is 15. We've been there a while. So we all left, but it's one of those things where we noticed that the business model is also slowly falling. So we think that there's going to be some bad announcements soon. But when I went to go pick up my copy of Avengers Endgame, for some reason, they sent my pre-order to the wrong store. So I went to one of the Irving locations and they sent it to the other Irving locations. So I was on a lunch break, and what was supposed to be a 5-minute ordeal turned into an hour and a half. Because they're like, "Oh, well, we'll just go ahead and put your pre-order over here." And I was like, okay, that's fine. I know that's possible. I used to work here. And they were just like, "All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that. It should be done soon." Well, an hour and a half goes by, and of course I'm getting angry because the reason I didn't want to have to, go and just pick it up or to have just cancel the pre-order and buy another one is because I don't want another $40 block on my card. It's just, I just don't want to. So I had to get a GM, and I had to tell them, "This is how you do it. You just call the bridge," and guess what? It pushed right through within 30 seconds, just like I knew it would.
Insider info.
And then, yeah, they tell you something can't get pushed through, they're probably right, but there's possibility. Just ask. It's one of those things where it got pushed through, and then I got home after getting my copy of Avengers to find out that they still charged me an extra $40, and I had to call, and I literally had 3 different people when I asked for a manager not give me one, and they put me on hold for 30 minutes. A lot of stuff's going down the drain.
You didn't pull a Karen on them, did you? Oh, you did speak with a manager. Sorry.
To be fair, I was a manager, so I always thought it was fun whenever I was there and someone would demand to speak to a manager, and then I could be like, "I'll get one for you right now. Just give me a yes. How can I help?"
Do you just make a 360 and just like, "I am the manager"?
I have said that before, yes.
I would fully turn around, but anyway.
Turn around.
You stop.
Every now and then.
Anyway, so there's our woes of companies that need to get their. It's less news than more of us just bitching and moaning. Anyway,
we have something more important to talk about tonight.
On to
though.
something good that is happening this weekend. AnimeFEST has returned to Dallas, April 16th through the 19th at the Sheraton Dallas Hotel.
I've never been.
It is.
It's so much fun.
I heard.
It's actually one of those really, really fun cons.
Well, most anime conventions, like the ones that I've gone to, have always been fun. It's just, the bigger the convention, generally, the more fun it is. And for the first time, I was going to get to go with you guys, but I have other obligations, so I can't go.
Personal, priorities.
It happens.
in my opinion, I think AnimeFest is more fun than ACON,
It is.
to be honest. It may not be as big, but the people that attend AnimeFest are usually a lot better. Like, I don't know how to put that because the people that attend ACON are
Friendlier?
not terrible. I guess friendlier is better.
I think what it is
term.
that ACON is one of those conventions that you always hear about. So when I was in high school and like middle school, people always talked about ACON, and the particular friends that I had weren't exactly the nicest of people. So they were the type of people that were like really in your face about that kind of anime, and they would go to ACON and something like that. Well, AFest is something that I occasionally heard about but never really processed because people keep talking about it, so you get a different kind of crowd.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So on to the show this year. Not a lot of voice actors on the American side this year, but we do have guests this year. Studio Chizu. Let's see.
Yes.
We've got a couple of directors. Hiroyuki Ayami. Takaki Yamashita is going to be there. A lot of these are people that are over the pond. Cosplayer Leon Chiro is going to be there. But otherwise, there's not a lot on this guest list. And I'm noticing it is a bit low. I was hoping for some of our favorites from last year because we got some really good interviews.
I think they're trying to focus more on industry guests from Japan this year. I think that was more their focus.
Okay.
And that's why they have most of Studio Chizu here this year.
You can really go to any convention that's in Dallas and you're going to get a lot of American voice actors because Funimation is here. It's,
Yeah.
Right.
It's just so close by.
They live here. We see them in the grocery stores.
Occasionally, yeah. I may have run into two in the bathroom. It's fine. It's just one of those things where we've run into so many times where at these conventions, granted, I haven't run into enough. I keep getting autographs is what I'm trying to do, but it's one of those things where we keep going to those other conventions, so it does seem like AFest was trying to focus more on like the behind the scenes versions of it.
Well,
But
go ahead.
Well, also, AnimeFest does have a lot of fan-run panels. That's one of the great things about this show. There are activities going on 24/7, dances, fans panels, workshops, of course, lots of cosplay, charity auctions. One of the great things they do is the Artist Alley, the Artist Bazaar, is free entry. It's on the bottom floor. Anyone can walk in off the street and purchase something from an artist. I love that. And that's kind of where the hub of everything really is happening because there are rooms off to the side where there are events and panels, but if you don't have a badge, you can't enter those rooms. So I like that they give the artists a break. No one has to purchase a ticket to go help support some of our artists out there, some we were friends with.
Not only that, but because it's in a generalized area, it's not in a specific room, the artists can leave, or the artists can basically stay at their booth as long as they want. There have been artists, like I've been there before, like sometimes I'll stay there and I'll be wandering around at like midnight and there are still artists sitting at their booths because they know that people are going to be wandering around that area drunk with money and they're going to want to impulse buy stuff. And I've seen sales go through after midnight because these drunk people are like, oh my god, I saw this print earlier and like I really want it, and then just throw money at the artist and get it.
I do that normally and I don't have to be drunk.
It's like when I sold my sister's Girl Scout cookies outside SMU at 2 o'clock in the morning. Anyway.
I mean, yeah, it's that same concept.
But along with that, yeah, they call me Cookie Dude. But it's a lot of fun. I love also the dealer room at this con just takes my money and I'm so happy about it.
They try very hard to make sure that they don't have duplicate booths, if that makes sense to you guys. Like, you know how you'll wander a con and since they have a bigger space, they try to fill it. So they will put like a bunch of the same stuff there. They try really hard to make sure that each of the booths there are different enough. You'll still get some like overlap there because there's only so much anime stuff. But since the room is smaller, they can control that a little easier.
The other thing is, it is right in downtown Dallas, and
yes.
It's a nice hub for things happening. Lots of great areas around there to take photographs, and people take full advantage of that. So,
it's
a bustling area. It's almost like miniature San Diego Comic Con. There's stuff happening around.
You don't even have to have a convention for it to be bustling in that area. There's a lot of stuff where people focus, which is a brilliant idea when you're like looking for a business that you're trying to open, is if you know what your target's going to be, especially with that convention center usually being filled with majority of fans where any kind of nerdom and stuff like that. There's a restaurant, I don't know how close it is, but it's the video game restaurant. Have you been there?
I've not been to that one yet.
So I went with my.
Sounds like a SCNS live piece.
So basically, I went to it with my wife and my buddy, and what it is you go in there and you order, you say, hey, look, it's a table for 3, basically, and they say, okay, cool, we're gonna go ahead and get you a table for 3, and then when they sit you down, every table has a different console at it, and they give you controllers so you can play games while you eat. So we got.
Is this downtown, or are we talking about the one in Frisco?
I think there was one in downtown, but
Oh,
I know there's one in Frisco. That's the one I went to. But you have you can open up businesses similar to that and have it in that area, and they're just gonna flock to that area.
Well, actually, go ahead.
No, we just have so many conventions that you'll be busy basically all the time.
And see, speaking of video games, this is actually something new for AnimeFest this year. They're going to be separating their video game and tabletop gaming, just gaming in general content, from their anime content, so that you're going to have AnimeFest and GamerFest. This year, if you have a badge for one, you have a badge for the other, so you can go between each of them. But next year, their plan is to have GamerFest as its own convention and AnimeFest as its own convention, because they've noticed that there is enough market from the fans that come to the con that they can do that. So this year is going to be their first trial run with doing something like that. So be sure to check that out if you're there. If you're there for GamerFest, pop on over to AnimeFest. I mean, I know you probably have seen it in years past, but if you're, used to AnimeFest, maybe pop over to GameFest, see what's going on. They're going to have some tabletop events. They're going to have, that's where you're going to find all the shops for board games and things like that. Maybe, I think that's where they're going to have the game room and all that fun stuff.
Well, we're definitely going to go down there. We will be there this weekend, a bit on and off for me, but we'll be getting down there. What I'd like most about this con, it seems like it's in a perfect area. Madra said it's great for cosplay photography. It's also right on the train line.
Yes.
So be weird and ride the train in your costume.
I've done that before, and a
lot of people have.
I got handed a cross by a lady because I was dressed like a goth boy.
If we're gonna start telling stories about pissing off overly religious folks,
I didn't make her angry.
Oh, I have.
She got on the bus and saw me. I was for those unfamiliar, I was dressed like a Bakio from JoJo Part 4, so all black, white wig, black makeup, black lipstick, all of that jazz. And she saw me, and every stop or so she would look, and then she turned around, she's like, and she asked about my costume. I was like, oh, well, there's an event in Dallas that focuses on foreign comic books, and I decided to dress up for it because it really didn't feel like explaining everything from JoJo because you can't. She's like, oh, okay. And
no, JoJo.
Went back to her reading. We got to the hospital stop. She handed me something. She said, here you go. Have a blessed day, ma'am. And then walked off. And I looked down in my hand, and it's a cross.
I think the best time was when we went down there and I was dressed as Snake Eyes on the train.
Oh, no, that's right.
Full Snake Eyes gear, and I couldn't sit with my sword in my back. So I had it sitting like this, and I was just sitting in the chair nobody would look. It's there's two types of people. The ones that see something like that and don't look and don't even acknowledge that this thing exists off to the side. I am focused on everything that is within this field of vision over here.
My peripherals, I'm not looking direct.
And then there are the people that kind of get on and they immediately go, I don't know what this is, but I'm just going to go in the other direction. It was interesting to see the people there was one lady who was staring. And as she's staring, I just snapped my head and looked at her. And she just went, she instantly, she went from,
I was hoping you were going to say she fell out of her seat.
No, she just turned her head and look. I need to look at the seal. So
God, yeah, man, is that new?
Just with the train line, and there is one thing that we do have to inform everybody about. There are no food trucks this year, and that is disappointing.
It is disappointing, but it is not something that they planned. That was something that they found out later,
and it's not their fault.
And it's not their fault. However, the area where the food trucks are normally anyway is not far from the convention center.
Clybourne Park is quite the clip down the road, actually.
However, that in mind, West End is literally right down the street, which may not be the best area, so go in groups. But there's food there. Yeah, there's also quite a few restaurants in the area that are within walking distance. I know because I've looked from going to the Majestic literally 3 times this year.
The biggest thing that I would say keep in mind is not necessarily, since there's no food trucks and you're going to restaurants, you have to always, in downtown Dallas, always try to kind of stay in a group just in general.
Oh,
But the heat.
yes.
It's super hot in Dallas right now. It's one of those things where temperatures are going up as high as like 106 degrees. And I can tell you that it's unbearable sometimes.
Which, actually, I almost forgot. The Plaza of the Americas is still an option, everyone. No, you won't be able to get that late night vegan taco. However, during the day, you can still go there and get food. So there's still options during the day. Maybe if you're going to be staying at the con, bring like ramen or sandwich materials, or order a pizza.
Well, the other good
Ordering
thing
is
about
still
this
an
con
option.
is if you actually were to get the hotel room, you never have to really go outside. You
Yeah.
can take the Sky Bridge over to Plaza of Americas.
Yeah, but you're then staying in the Omni Hotel, and you know how much
it's the Sheraton
there's
Hotel.
the oh wait, am I thinking of the wrong convention?
Yeah,
center?
this is the Sheraton Dallas.
So not the one we went to in Lincoln Con.
No.
Okay, cool.
No.
Yes,
Well,
don't
at the
stay in
Sheraton, because you can walk over to where the convention is through the Sky Bridge. You can walk over to Plaza of Americas. You never have to touch the wretched, disrespectful heat of Dallas in the summer.
Not only that, there's also the Marriott, which is connected to the Plaza of the Americas, which also connects via Skybridge to the Convention Center and the Sheraton. So again, if you're at the Marriott, you also don't have to leave unless you want to. Which, you know what, actually, I will say, kind of a toss-up on what's hotter, going outside or walking through the Skybridge during the day, because both are terrible, especially if no one walks.
Yeah.
That's my big
I-
gripe is people that
I
don't
had a
walk.
convention that was very similar. It's my buddy and I went to DreamHack, not this last year, but like the one before where it was in Austin, and we had the hotel that also had a bridge connected to it. I mean, it wasn't as unbearable in Austin, but it was one of those things where the bridge can also be terrible. I've never been on the Sky Bridge personally, but
Yeah.
in this particular case, it was almost as if someone put like fencing around it, but like weaker fencing. So it felt, because there was no guardrails other than that fencing, you could legitimately step off the bridge and get caught almost as if it was like a child's play area. But
Oh.
you know what? Don't drink at these conventions, okay?
The Skybridge for AnimeFest that connects the Plaza of the Americas with the Sheraton is enclosed completely. So it's glass, giant glass windows on either side of you, and then just like top and bottom. So it builds up heat really quick, and that's both Skybridges. The one from the Sheraton to the Convention Center is really small, so it's not as big a deal. The one between the Plaza of the Americas and the Convention Center / Sheraton, that one's a bit more lengthy. So if it gets crowded in there, it's really hard to get from point A to point B without like sweating profusely. Which brings me to my next point. Everybody please, for the love of Christ and everything holy and unholy, take a shower every day.
Mm-hmm.
It is too hot for you to go, well, I normally don't shower every day because it's not good for you, which, you know what, that's valid. But with how hot it is, I'm going to need you to change that attitude and shower every night.
I'm gonna need you to not quote me in the same tone that I used. Okay, just
I'm also going to need you to drink some water.
Yes,
because-
please.
yeah.
There will be free
You will
water.
die.
There will be free water stations throughout the convention, which are monitored by the staff of the actual hotel. So please drink water. There is no excuse for not drinking water. It is literally free, and they have someone standing nearby so it can't be spiked like people have done before at the raves.
stop looking.
Don't
at me.
drink water at the rave. Don't go to the rave. Just don't do that.
But yeah, take care of yourself. It's a fun convention. There's a lot of events happening. Good dealer room. I really like this convention. I don't think this is going to be, my expectations for this year are low. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. I'm still expecting to get my usual stuff on, and might even be trying to debut a new cosplay, but we'll get to that later.
I'm the only one in this group that doesn't cosplay.
For now,
Okay.
I take Halloween very seriously, though.
Don't worry.
amateur,
Don't worry. I have a Suikoden costume for you.
because of course she does.
I have a Suikoden costume for all of you.
We could talk about it later.
Okay.
So, yeah, AnimeFest happening at the Sheraton Dallas, April 16th through the 19th. Tickets still are on sale. You can get them on site. I don't know how much they are currently, but they're definitely more expensive than if you were to get them
Months in advance.
couple of months ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fun event. Everybody go have fun. And when you see us, come over and say hi. I hope that our good friend over at Show Enough Studios, Halo, will be delightful enough to give us some more Artist Alley interviews, and she does so good.
I hope so. That's one of my.
She's really good at it. I have a wireless mic for you this year.
It's one of my favorite parts of the con is the Artist Alley stuff.
She's really good at it. Yes.
I also just like saying that it's really nice to meet our fans. You recently got to meet one of ours recently when we dropped off the prize.
Justice Johnson, who was actually featured on Super Cool Nerd Nation.
Yes, I saw that. I didn't realize that until like yesterday. But
he does a lot of good charity work.
I noticed that. I was actually really impressed. It was actually a little sad I didn't get to go with you.
You know what? Normally I'm like, I ain't giving anybody any toys. Y'all ain't getting the toys. Y'all get something else. Honestly, I was very happy with his reaction to getting this thing that you gave away on the show.
Yeah, we picked that particular wave, one, because it was convenient. No need for backstory there. But it's one of those waves that, just like the last wave that we had, and then, of course, the Ninja Batman wave that we gave away, it just doesn't show up in stores. You just can't find them. Unlike the last DC Mattel, I think it's confirmed now, the Killer Croc wave.
We actually started talking a little bit about the toys.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good wave. So.
Yeah, that DC, the Killer Croc wave right now, I think is officially confirmed as the last wave. And it's just showing up in Walmarts like it's nobody's business. But, you know, you can't find those other waves anywhere. So I'm glad we picked that wave, because it was something that could easily be given away that was just kind of like, hey, look, you know, if you're having trouble finding these, don't overpay for them online. Just use our contest. And we had a winner, and it was fun. I think we'll do more contests.
Well, we do have, I was going to give something away, but I got an email today. So we're going to be changing the giveaway. I hope everyone liked when we gave away a copy of Kingdom Hearts 3, because we're going to be giving away another game, maybe even before that game releases.
Ooh.
It is an upcoming game. Make sure you tune into the channel. But yeah, we're going to be giving away in September. We're going to be giving away another game, 2 of them, one for Xbox and one for PS4.
Ooh, great.
So we're going to cover both bases here, baby. So tune in. I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
Do you want a drum roll or something?
I wish I had that sound effect. We're giving away a copy of Borderlands 3, one for the Xbox and one for the PlayStation 4.
I'm so excited about Borderlands 3.
They have been acquired. When I get them is another thing altogether, but I will be getting them. It'll either be here for the release date or a little bit before. So one copy of Borderlands for the Xbox, one copy for the PS4. How are you going to get it? Well, you just have to watch SCNS Live to find out, but it will be something that we give away during the show. Make a comment, subscribe to the channel. But yes, Borderlands 3, we're giving away 2 copies. Get ready. I hope you're ready to go back to Pandora.
I'm so ready.
I am too.
I'm so ready.
They're going to be having a little bit of a party, and one of our friends is going to be coming back to town for that party. Yes, and Nazni Voles. We miss her. We love her, and she'll be coming back here. So plenty of hugs will be going around, and hopefully we all get to go to the party.
I'm hoping.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers are crossed. If anybody at Gearbox wants to throw us a bone, or if anybody out there wants to tell Gearbox, you should invite the guys from the Super Cool Nerd Show, we'll go.
We had a radio shout out recently. I mean, come on.
And speaking of soaps and showering, there is a new interview up on the channel. Good job on this one, Cora. Interviewed Cindy Skull of Skull Soaps over at LeakyCon 2019. We got some more interviews coming from there. They're going to be great.
We got some other stuff. We got footage from LeakyCon, but we managed to get we spoke to Cindy Skull, who's also a radio personality over here in Dallas.
Skull is awesome.
97.1 The Eagle, Scully in the Morning. Really nice person.
Did not
Contacted
know that.
No, you did.
When I interviewed her.
You did it so calmly, and then after I turned the cameras off, I'm like, yeah, notice how easy she was behind a mic? You're like, yeah. I was like, that's because she does that for a living. And then she pulled us aside. She went, how did you know?
I just really like soap and soap makers, and that's why I wanted to interview
fantastic.
her. So.
I also found it hilarious that when she started off by giving us free soaps because she really liked us. So I wasn't intending on getting any soap. She's like, here's some soap. Here you go. And I'm like, so much soap.
I can't wait to use it. I'm really excited. I have to use up the bar soap I have right now first.
Yeah, it smells absolutely fantastic.
Oh, my goodness, soap.
My whole you didn't come with us.
Come. You decided not to go.
I wanted soap.
Maybe I'll give you one of the bars I got for myself.
Maybe nothing. You give me that one.
Maybe I'll give you one of the free ones I got.
On top of that, there will be another video released in the morning. It is from Nier. It is the 80th anniversary Iron Man figure.
It was my
Good
very
review.
first review. They'll get better.
I need to talk about one of those reviews, by the way. The Spider-Man Iron Man one. Did you press record?
I have no idea. That was one of the ones that we did record like so many different times. And
I don't think you pressed record.
It's fine.
So
Womp womp.
there'll be some other videos, and we got some other Power Rangers stuff that we're going to be bringing to the channel, and more LeakCon videos coming out this weekend. And it's going to be some video content daily on the channel, so make sure you subscribe to the channel for daily internet content, apparently.
It's all coming out. New stuff all the time.
Yeah. So anyway, we do have like 10 minutes left of the show, but I mean, it's a loose show. But I did want to take this opportunity to announce that a new show will be coming to the SCNS Live network.
So excited.
I don't think I'm the proper person to make this announcement. So if the crew of that show, I'm crew. If the stars of that show would like to go ahead and announce their new show, please go right ahead.
Hello. That would be us. I hope you like Cora and myself. If you don't, I'll cry in a corner probably later. You won't see it. But we're doing a new show. Cora and I, being the huge anime nerds that we are. I don't know if you know this, but it's true.
I am dressed like an anime character.
We are pretty nerdy when it comes to anime stuff. So I have alternate heads to gush about figures, but I don't have anywhere else to gush about anime. So Cora and I decided to team up, decided to make a brand new anime reviewing talk show called Anime TV. Every 2 weeks, it'll be a bi-weekly show. We are going to go over a different anime every single week. I have a whole bunch of it that we've got ready. Cora, what are we doing first?
First, we're going to be taking a look at iShield 21. It is the only football anime to exist, and I mean that American football, not soccer. There's like 5 of those. But this is the only American football anime to exist. The artist was the artist for One Punch Man, so if you like his artwork, you will enjoy the show and the manga as well. There's lots of little tidbits I could talk about here. I'll save them for the actual show itself.
What kind of other things are you going to be like dissecting the anime or?
With most anime talk shows, we're doing things a little different. We're going to give you our opinions. What we're going to do is we're going to go over some...
Oh yeah, because there's no videos like that on YouTube.
I know. But we're going to break it down a little differently. We're going to talk about everything from the soundtrack. We're going to talk about its visual effects, its characters, its story, and its voice acting. We're going to talk about it, but we're not going to hold back. No holding back. We're going to talk about it to each other and to you guys the same way you would with your friends at your home.
Awesome.
Yep.
As far as that show, I will be teching that show. So if you need a surly comment given every now and then about anime, I'm your guy for that.
That's good. We're also going to try and later on down the line maybe have a couple of guest stars on the show to talk about the anime itself. You know, maybe it's their first time watching it or something like that. Get their opinions. We already have one lined up for Jason. We won't talk about that one quite yet. I
should probably get y'all an intro package ready or something.
But
not like I did for the D&D.
But we are currently discussing what anime shows we would like to cover. If you guys have any suggestions for us, please leave them in the comments below. Just know that anything anywhere related to Boku no Pico is not going to be watched and will be ignored because y'all sick.
Like that needs to be done.
No, God no.
I don't even know what that is. So.
That being said, we hope you look forward to our opinions as much as we look forward to yours. So one of the things that I will also be doing is at the end of every single episode, we're going to tell you what our next anime that we're going to be watching is going to be.
So they can watch it and catch up?
They can watch it ahead of time. But moreover than that, if you go in the comments and you type in a review of your own, we may just put it inside of the show under our, maybe you love it and we'll tell you, or if we have like a negative opinion, we'll read that too. So we can kind of get a little bit of both. So if that does well enough, then your comment could be in our show as well.
And on that, I'll start looking for some type of intro package to make up for them for Anime TV. I've got some. I do have something in mind. It's not going to be like guys. In case you didn't watch our D&D games, I came up with a lovely intro for our D&D campaign.
Well, I've got it all done.
It's a great After Effects intro that I made. Unfortunately, to play this thing, because I used actual 3D graphics this time. Ooh. To play it, though, I needed another program that cost about $600. So I can make it, but I can't. And I can see it in After Effects, but to play it...
Here's the benefit. You're not getting Unicron.
I love that I showed it to everybody. Look, guys, look at the scroll rolling and the fire and all this shininess on this wooden table. Everybody looked at it, they loved it, and I tried to play it. It was like, oh, by the way, you need to buy this program. I was so... Cora, was it beautiful or not?
It was absolutely stunning, and I was actually really upset that we couldn't make it work.
So I'll come up with something a little bit more low key. I'm sure you got some ideas. So.
We'll talk about it.
All right, cool. So anyway, guys, we are going to go ahead and start ending our show. Thank you guys out there for joining us for our 3/4 ass show. 3/4 ass. I'll go ahead and give it 3/4 ass.
I'm going to go with a solid 8/13.
I don't know about y'all, but I went 100%.
Clearly,
I just can't see.
Clearly, you're dressed up for this show.
I don't see a difference.
Look, wearing cosplay on this show would be like being at a formal ball. Did you take your bracers off?
I did. I couldn't move my wrists, so I took them off.
Just trying to run towards a full cosplay.
This is
Anyway,
a nightmare.
guys, thank you for joining us out there. Please follow us on all social media at SCNS Live. You can also follow us Alternate Heads at the Alternate Heads Podcast, and of course at Anime TV.
It's at Anime TV Cast.
Anime
Someone
TV
took
Cast.
it. Bastards. Don't worry, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna get it somehow.
I'm a Liam Neeson. Anyway, if you want to follow us personally, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JasonTheX.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter under The Near Plasma.
You can find me on Twitter at HawksPerch, where I would continuously scream into the void about Suikoden.
Why do you have that here?
You don't follow her Instagram, clearly.
Yeah,
Or-
exactly.
I'm sorry. What was I thinking? I've been friends with this person.
Or you can follow me on Instagram at Corodona, which is spelled in the little bar down there, where I post artwork and cosplay related things. Also, since we're doing shout out stuff, be sure that you're catching up on Super Cool Nerd Nation, because we're going to be bringing that back up. We're going as we
Ooh.
collect up more interviews,
Speaking of
so
that,
we can pull them out.
we have if you want to be on Super Cool Nerd Nation, you can actually either DM Super Cool Nerd Show Live or you could DM Ricardo.
Super Commercial Live.
Super Cool Nerd Show Live. But it's SCNS Live, I know.
Okay.
But you can DM either the Instagrams or you could message him on Facebook and he will set up a time and date to meet with you.
So join us for that. I believe we had somebody actually submit here. So yeah, Ricardo's been doing a lot of great work with that.
Yes.
Please follow Super Cool Nerd. Follow the channel so you can watch Super Cool Nerd Nation. It's just really, just kind of very friendly interviews. He's really getting good at doing the.
It's very laid back.
Yeah, and I like them. They're just sit down and talk. He usually does them in public, like at a bar or a restaurant or something.
Definitely way less electricity than the Claudia Wells interview. I'm just going to say. Just, all right. The tension there.
Shout out, Bryce. We miss you. And of course, Cat and Cass, we miss you guys. We will be back next week for an all new show. So make sure you tune in 8 p.m. Central, same time. Anyway, that is it for us. We'll see you guys next week. As we always say around here,
Keep on nerding.
Ninja Run.
All right, that is our show. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to check out the live video version of this, you can find it at YouTube and Facebook. You can also find us on Instagram and Twitter, all at SCNS Live. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing week.